Well, thanks for joining us today. The program that we have is a little unusual. It's not things they usually don't teach you. That one's coming up soon. But today's program is benefits of being a senior citizen and over 62 and living here in Peters Township. My name is Bill Merrell and I'll be your host. Let's take a look and see what the township and the county has to offer us seniors. And before we get into the program, I do want to state that happy birthday to the United States Air Force. September 18th, 1947 was the year that the Air Force separated from the Army. So happy birthday to you fellow members of the Air Force and to all the other brothers and sisters in the military. We've contacted many departments that you see on the list here, and some of them actually went off the screen. But the bottom line is I contacted everybody to see what these departments offer us, the senior citizens. Peters Township Police Department is the group that we're going to start off with next. Once again, for your information, if you have a non-emergency phone number or a phone call that you want to talk to them about one of their programs or things, it's on the list. But if it's an emergency call, always dial 911. Peters Township Police Department serves the township in more ways than one. Below are some of the programs the department offers to the residents. Vacation home check. If you're going on a vacation for a couple of weeks and you want your home checked, the police will in fact do that for you. I know that I've used that opportunity many times, as my neighbors have. Fatal vision goggles. This happens to anybody actually who wants to see what it's like if you in fact get intoxicated, okay? And the goggles give you a blurry-eyed feeling as you try to walk, and it throws off your balance and things, so you get an idea what it's like if the police stop you and get you for drunk driving. Alcohol and drugs can affect your abilities while you're driving. More police programs. The Identikid program, fingerprinting program, the kids for kids at 5 and older. I've used this whenever I was active duty military. I would take my kids all over the world, actually out to Hawaii and everything. And I'd use this to have those cards available if we ever need it. As grandparents, it's very important whenever you take your kids shopping or something and they wander off. So you may want to have this done. Chief Grimes offers police station tours, so you can go into the police station and in fact see how it works. You're paying for it, so you have the opportunity to see it in action. You have to call the chief at that number, and in fact they will make arrangements to do that. I have to apologize because these programs are sent in a couple days before, and by the time we get the opportunity to get a class in to, in fact, do the camera work, some of these programs are starting soon, like tomorrow, and some of them have already taken place. But you'll find that there are programs that are being offered. This one, for example, Women's Self-Defense class for Peters Township residents. I would suggest anybody, graduates, seniors, senior citizens, take this course if you can, because of the fact that it teaches you how to defend yourself. We live in a strange society today. When I grew up here in Peters Township, we didn't lock our cars, we didn't lock our doors, we didn't lock anything because we didn't think anybody was stupid enough to try to steal it. Today, you can't tell anymore. So please, this class for self-defense starts tomorrow, the 19th. So please, if you in fact want to do something like this in the future, please contact the police department, put your name on the list so they can in fact fill in the slots for the next course. And if there's enough people, they will in fact possibly offer a new course. The Citizens Police Academy. This is another one that starts tomorrow. And in fact, my wife, she used to be a councilwoman here in Peters. She took this course, and it really does change your mind when you're hearing about how these police respond under circumstances that in fact are stressful, okay? As part of their program is they go down to California University and they're put in stressful situations by stopping a person for a ticket on a car or something, and then seeing the response of that person. If he gets out of the car with a gun or something, what do you do? And like I said, it puts you in a situation so you understand the stress that these policemen, and once again, they don't go to parties every day. They're there to protect you and protect the laws. So whenever they, in fact, go and stop somebody, they can't tell exactly what that person's intentions are. When you take this course, you learn that view. You learn the laws, and you learn how it affects the law. So once again, this program starts tomorrow. You can still sign up for it today, but once again, this program won't be seen until it's actually run. No knock. The no knock in the township is to keep solicitors who are selling things to you, whether that be siding or roofing or yard work or whatever. If they're making a profit, basically, you can put a no knock sign on your property, and in fact, these people are supposed to be passing you by. Now, in the recent political agenda for the primary, people who had these no knocks were upset that the people handing out political information, in fact, knocked on their door, and they'd scream at them and everything. And there was a couple attorneys who screamed at them too, and apparently they don't know the law, because as you see here on the township regulation, all bona fide religious, charitable, and political organizations, societies, associations, or corporations shall be exempt from the application of this chapter, so long as the principal purpose of their solicitation active is the expression of religious, political, or other philosophical beliefs. So, once again, just because you have a no-knock on your property, which will keep regular solicitors away from it, then in fact you will have still people from political organizations, charitable, and religious organizations stopping by. Public speaking to groups on various topics to include home security, fraud, grandparent scam, and identity theft. My brother was called not too long ago and informed that my son was in jail in New Jersey and he needed $5,000 bail. My brother, being older than me and having some difficulties understanding what was going on, rushed down to the bank to try to withdraw the $5,000. Luckily for me, his wife called and said, "Where's my son?" I called him, and he was at work. So you have to be very careful. They make it sound very convincing. Identity theft is another thing that's going on right now, and we'll talk about that in the program that comes later. Wellness visits. Generally, this occurs with the request of a loved one or a friend who cannot check on someone individually. These are, once again, very, very important. The population here in the township is, the folks that were adults when I was a kid growing up here are now in their 90s and late 80s and 90s. And so, you have to stay in touch with these folks and make sure they're okay. If you can't do it, the police will do it. Vacation checks we talked about, and the safety video series that they have available. Township Police have created a series of informational videos featuring reminders to residents to include theft from motor vehicles, the exchange zone. Whenever you put something listed for sale, the township has an exchange zone in front of the police station where there are cameras, and you in fact can have the opportunity to exchange whatever you have with the other person that wants to buy it in front of those cameras, so they have a record of it. Okay, so if in case you do that. Gifts for service providers. Okay, and when to call 911. So they have videos dealing with these many topics. Now let's look at what the fire department offers us. Community risks, home inspections for safety, fire and life safety education. We'll break these down here. Home and commercial location inspections. They will inspect everything, including the sprinkler system, fire alarms, heat detectors, Fire extinguishers, make sure they're current. And by the way, coming up in October is Fire Safety Month, so you should change the batteries in your smoke detectors. Building safety standards, make sure that there's not a lot of garbage piled up in front of an exit door. Fire and safety systems, make sure they're in working order. And after you get an inspection, you can expect to receive a notification on exactly what happened. Smoking carbon monoxide detectors, very important. We just saw homes tragically blown up in the north of Pittsburgh. The gas doesn't necessarily have to come from a line in your house. It could come from outside. So having carbon monoxide detectors around in your home, very important. Once again, October is Fire Safety Month. This is the month that you in fact should be changing your batteries in your smoke detectors. The firemen will in fact come, and whenever they check them, they will help you do that if you have the batteries and things available. They also, depending upon what they have available, they also have smoke detectors. So Stop the Bleed, Save a Life. This is a program that the fire department offers. All right, minutes count when someone's bleeding. So you have about 5 minutes maximum, depending upon the cut, depending upon how much blood is being lost, to stop the bleeding so the person survives. This is a very important program no matter what your age. And of course, you always see these commercials where the elderly fall and they can't get up. Well, if they fall and they've hurt themselves, then that may even be more of a reason to have this program in place. Home fires in the United States number about 1,000 a day. What can you do to prevent these? Once again, home fire safety checklist, test your smoke alarms, family escape plan. I was very pleased one time when I was having a Christmas party and my smoke detector went off, and I didn't know why, but my granddaughter ran out of the house and she was next to a tree because whenever she was much younger, we told her that that's where the family would meet if there was ever a fire. And she did exactly what she was told 3 or 4 years earlier, and it worked out well. There was no reason for it, but once again, once that sound, the immediate response is worthwhile. Make sure you have working fire extinguishers. Just because you bought one in 1942 doesn't mean it's still working. Make sure that it is current, make sure that the pressure is up, and if it's more than 10 years, I would advise get a new one. That happens. I used to be a fireman, so like I said, I take that very, very important aspect. Home appliance standards. Make sure that your home gas, water heater, and oven and things like that are all in working operation. Housekeeping hazards. Once again, don't pile things up against the door. Don't be a hoarder. Don't put your stuff in the walkways so people can't get in and out. Electrical hazards. Yard and garbage hazards, matches, and careless smoking. Another very important. This is a program, the CPR and First Aid is another program that has just started. All right, once again, I put these programs together two and 3 weeks ago, and by the time we get everything lined up and everybody gets operating in the studio, then but this is one of the programs that is available. You see this one just started on September 14th, but if you contact the fire department, they will in fact tell you when the next program is going. And as we've seen through professional football games, CPR and first aid is very, very important to save lives. There is a small cost to this program, but it's well worth it. Community Fire Department outreach. The Fire Department Open House, September the 30th. Okay, so this program will be airing before that happens for a change. And so make sure it's Saturday, September 30th, that you have the opportunity to go up. They always have a nice spread out. They're making hamburgers and hot dogs and things for everybody. It happens from 11 till 3 o'clock at Fire Station number 1, which is across from the new middle school, old high school. Okay, down in that area. Get a car seat checked while you're there. If you have a grandchild that's in a car seat and you're not sure if it's properly seated and things like that, the fire department and the police department, I don't want to leave them out on this, can both check that and make sure it's operational. They will also check the seat to make sure that it hasn't been recalled, and in fact everything is current and it meets the safety requirements. I asked some additional questions based on the situations that have happened recently. In case of excessive heat, according to the fire chief, residents can go to the library or the rec center to cool down. We do have older residents in the community that don't have air conditioning, okay? They have the houses they've lived in for 50, 60, 70 years, and they haven't got around to doing that. So once again, you have the opportunity to go to the rec center to cool down, or the library to cool down. What happens if a train derails here in Venetia? Okay, I asked the fire chief that, and basically he informed me that they rely upon the county emergency management to take over in a circumstance like that. It is, it's a unique situation. The career field that I was in the military handled things like that. So he said it's interesting to see that they rely upon the county to respond to something that could be affecting the entire community here. Manpower issues. Peters Township, whenever I was a volunteer fireman here in the late 60s, there was no problem. Everybody volunteered. We probably had 60 or 70 members. All the fire departments across the state are having manpower problems. So you may, in fact, if you feel like you want to donate your time and effort to the community and do something really positive, you may want to contact them. And the last is the annual fund drive. Okay, even though it's a department managed more or less by the township, they use the funds that they have, unlike other communities that tax their community residents for their fire protection. Peters Township doesn't. So the annual fund drive, in fact, is something that they can, in fact, deal with, and buys equipment and things for the department. Peters Township Ambulance Service. Once again, they are run currently by the VFW, local VFW. They've done that for years. And in fact, once again, their non-emergency numbers there on the screen. Their emergency number is, as the others, 911. The types of membership, and this is very important to seniors here in the community. There are 3 types of membership: family, nursing home memberships, and senior citizens. Peters Township Council gives about $100,000 a year to the ambulance service. That, I've always wondered, even whenever I was on council, I always wondered what that meant to the senior citizens, specifically people who were aged. I found out by calling, and I really feel terrible I didn't get the lady's name, but she was just absolutely delightful, telling me the exact situation here. When the township purchases the membership for all the senior citizens in the community with this $100,000 purchase, what that means to the people out there is that if you need an ambulance service, they pick you up, they give you whatever service you need, take you to the hospital or whatever. After that is done, they'll bill your insurance company. And once they bill your insurance company, they in fact will then turn around and in fact tell you that they'll send you a bill for whatever's different. So for example, if it's $600 is the total bill your insurance company pays, $400 of it, there's $200 outstanding. If you are a community member of Peters Township over the age of, I believe it's 65, then in fact you only owe 50% of that outstanding bill. So the township membership has paid $100, you pay $100, and your insurance company pays the other $400. Other services provided by the VFW. Speakers. They have a bureau of people that will in fact come to your organization, scout, school programs and provide information dealing with strokes, heart attacks, cardiac arrest, bike safety, what to do in case of an emergency, and there are other programs that can be made available. So once again, you have to contact the ambulance base in a non-emergency number, and once again, it's 724-941-4700. I can see it here. I'm not sure you can see it on your screen, but in fact, you can call and make those arrangements. We're going to start going into the Peters Township Library, but I believe we're going to have to break halfway through, so we will take it easy here. There's a ton of programs they're offering. Home delivery. If you're unable to get to the library has a program, thank God their volunteers are willing to do this, to in fact bring the books to you. Okay? So if you're covering from a medical procedure, you are a caregiver, you have mobility issues, or unable to travel, they will bring the books to you. All you have to do is contact them. Okay, wagon. Once again, the slide, I guess I try to put too much stuff on the slides here. Wagon is a shared online category and consortium of public libraries in Washington County and Fayette counties. Wagon gives you residents the access to over 850,000 different volumes of books. And by the way, Peters Township Library is one of the top libraries in the state, if not the top library for the township of our size. Using one library card, you can access all of these books. Access digitally online resources for free, including online instruction, e-books, power library resources, etc. Recurring events for the library. Bingo, first Tuesday of the month. World War II discussions, last Wednesdays. Craft noons on Thursdays. Crochet and knitting club. They are also on Thursday evening though. Afternoon book club, third Wednesday of every month. Books and Brews book club, the second Thursday, and cookbook club on selected Mondays. The available facilities at the library include the Family Activity Center, meeting, study, and conference rooms, local history room, and for anybody who's interested in Peters Township history, that is a massive amount of information. After hours book drop, and makerspace for 3D printing, sewing, embroidering machines. That's a new program that they've just recently started. It took the place of the little cafe that they had there. Materials and resources, great courses. If you've never taken any of those or never watched them, I'm a history buff. When I was in the military, I was stationed all over Europe as well as Asia and well, everywhere. But they have great courses, and I fell in love with Spain when I was there. I've been back 3 times stationed there, but I was also, just a couple years ago, we took a 2-week vacation. But you go there first and you learn about everything about the country, and it's really quite wonderful. Anyhow, Playaway audio books, large print books for collectors, for collection. Our website on the home page has links to our daily calendar, use of Access PA Power Library, and local history photos. During our website at www.ptlibrary.org to access our wagon catalog, which we just talked about. Understanding VA benefits. Join us for a discussion. Available monetary, health care, and other valuable VA benefits. Okay, this program, it's actually off my screen too, so I can't even tell you when it is. I believe it's in November, November 3rd, I think, but you call the library for that. And we'll talk a little more about veteran benefits at the end of this. Other important programs: Sit Fit Adult Movement Class on Thursday, October 26th. Medicare Basics, Monday, October 2nd. School Days in Peters Township, Thursday, November 16th. Scam Alerts with PTPL, that's Peters Township Public Library, on Monday, November 13th. You must register for all of these courses in advance. Aging with dementia. This is a very important issue. Now that people are aging, I just noticed yesterday on TV that a woman was 114 years old. God bless her. I just, like I said, I hope I live that long or even close to that. Dementia, once again, is becoming an ever popular, or it's not popular, but more current than it used to be because people are growing older. Thursday, November 2nd at the library. Registration is required, so please take that into consideration. Peters Township Public Works Department, what do they have? I think what we're going to do is stop here because of the fact we don't have a lot of time to go into this, and we'll come here in the second half of the program. So once again, I hope you're understanding that there are a bunch of benefits here for the people in the community, and we'll look forward to coming back on the second half and telling you some more. Well, thanks for coming back for the second half. This is the program where we are demonstrating what benefits are available to senior citizens over 62 years old. Okay, and at this part of the program, we're down to the Public Works facility. For those folks who might not have a need to, that's at the entrance of Peters Woods Park over on Bebout. So, in fact, if you need to contact them, the number is there, 724-941-6161. Branch and shrubbery pickup service. Okay, a couple times a year that they come along. The branch and shrubbery pickup service was established to assist residents with disposal of small amounts of yard waste, not normally collected by waste management. To be scheduled for this, you must call Public Works first. Okay, at that number, 724-941-6161. Your request must be received no later than 7 o'clock Monday morning of the week of the service being offered. Once again, you can see there the two dates that are remaining, 2023 for September 25th at the end of this month and October 9th. PT for Me. This is a program the township started a while back that, in fact, if you have an issue with something going on or something going wrong, if there's a sidewalk that needs repaired or if there's a street light out, for example, you can call that or put that information on the internet on the Peters Township website. There's a section there, PT for Me. If it has to do with animals barking, if it has to do with garbage or recycling not being picked up properly, the Public Works, if it has to do even with the state road needing repair. Like I always say that on Valley Brook Road toward what used to be, well, towards 19, there's a bump there that I hit on prom night. It's still there, okay? And I keep on complaining about that, but that's a state road and they'll get around to it, I guess, when they will. But general code violations, for example, you see on the picture here where the trees are over, hanging over the sidewalk, so it'd be next to impossible to, in fact, get to. You can get on PT for Me, and they will try to stay in touch with you, let you know what's going on with it, and tell you whenever it's fixed. The fall leaf collection schedule. Okay, Waste Management collects leaves for 5 weeks in the fall. Leaves must be in paper lawn bags or they will not be taken. Okay, if you put them in the regular plastic garbage bags, they won't accept it. The designated weeks are as you see there, from October to the end of November. The collection of leaf waste takes place on the same day your garbage or recycling is collected. So once again, whenever you're looking at these things, you make sure that you in fact follow the dates but contact the township as needed. During the 5 designation leaf collection weeks, leaves must be in paper lawn bags or they will not be taken. As mentioned earlier, leaf waste in plastic bags will not be picked up. And all bags must be on the curb by 6 a.m. Garbage collection senior citizens discount. All residents 65 years age and older qualify for a 10% on their garbage bill. To receive the discount, you have to go into the township office with a copy of your ID, a copy of a bill to your house with your name in it, for example, your water bill or something, your tax bill, and then they will, in fact, put you on the line for this 10% discount. Tom Gromick if you want to email Tom through the township, you can, in fact, still do that and send a copy of that information into him, and he will do it over the line. And once again, the discounts will be given during the next billing cycle. Let's see what the Peters Township Community Recreation Center offers. The annual pass for residents. As you see there, individual family, the senior pass is only $5 a year, okay, for residents, and it's $90 for non-residents. The drop-in rates for residents is only $1 and non-residents for $10. CPR class may be registered at a discounted member rate for programs and classes. Non-CRC members are welcome to register for programs and classes, but will be charged the normal rate. And this is a sad thing. Once again, I put this program together weeks ago whenever these events were ongoing, but now you see that there's only one food truck event that's going still in Peterswood Park, and that's September 22nd. The one on the right there for the Food Truck Festival on September 16th, needless to say, it was this last weekend. But just knowing that these events take place during the year, in fact, gives you the opportunity to attend next year. Castle Noel Christmas. This is an upcoming event through the Recreation Center. Visit the home where the outside scenes of A Christmas Story were filmed back in 1982. Tour the Christmas Story House and enjoy free time to visit the museum and gift shop featuring the infamous leg lamp, pink nightmare, bunny suit, fudge, and so much more. Once again, this is December 7th. Approximate departure time and return will be 7 o'clock in the morning. You'll depart, 8 o'clock you'll return. The fee for this includes transportation, lunch, and gratuities and taxes is $195, and any resident over 18 up until the age of 95 are invited to, in fact, attend. But you have to notify them. Once again, registration date is Monday, October 16th. Peters Township has over 513 acres of outdoor recreational land. The township operates 7 parks and the Arrowhead Trail. Once again, that whenever you look at that 500, Morocco, the entire, well, not Morocco, I'm sorry, Monaco is half that size. Okay. The parks, of course, are the Arrowhead Trail, Elm Grove Park, which used to be my elementary school. I feel so bad. All my schools fell down. Elm Grove, Old Trail Park, Peters Lake Park, Peters Woods Park, Rees Park, and Venetia Park. Okay, so those are the ones that the township manages and cuts the grass and things too, but are available. Once again, there's a lot of opportunities for graduation parties and things like that at the different parks. Pets in the park. Pets are permitted in all parks only on a leash. You're not supposed to let them go. Originally, they were thinking at the Peters Woods Park, at the old high school or the old Rolling Hills, that they would come with a dog park, but at this point they haven't done that, I don't think. But pets are required to clean up after their pets. No pets are permitted in or out of the playground area equipment, picnic shelters, or water areas. pet ordinances and penalties have been developed to ensure a pleasant park experience for all. Peters Township School District. For those 62 years and older, this is a benefit that most people don't know about, but it's very beneficial. Once again, you have to take your driver's license, or once again something with you, like a water bill or something, has your name and your location that you're in the township. Take that over to the township supervisor's building next to the old, I guess it's the old high school slash middle school slash, but anyhow, they will give you a gold card for free, and that will allow you to get into the events in the school district. Those events include the theater activities, and Frankenstein is coming up October 13th and 14th. So a gold card is good for a ticket to a show. There's not just one person. It's not like a husband and wife can get one ticket and you can both get in. Each one of you have to have a gold card. Peters Township Athletics. Gold cards give you access for that one person to go to any regular season home event. Playoff and away games are not included in that. Music department. All of the concerts, etc., are free and open to the public, period. Meals on Wheels. Okay, once again, this is another opportunity for people to, in fact, get the opportunity to go and have a decent meal delivered 5 days a week. Each meal costs $5 or $25 for the week. The volunteers do a fabulous job providing this service to the community. As you see there, they deliver over 35,000 meals every year. And it's a good process. The food is nutritional, and once again, it gives the elderly the opportunity to contact someone coming to them. So if they're not feeling well or something, that person can in fact assist them making whatever calls they need. But it's a good service, and you might want to consider using it if you need that. If you don't need it, well, that's fine, but maybe you can share that information with someone else. Freedom Transit. This is a relatively new thing that's happened here in the township. There are pickup points throughout the community. To be honest with you, whenever I looked at their map, I couldn't really tell because it doesn't really show coming up in this area very well. But you'd have to give them a call to find out exactly where their pickup. I know one point is near Bob Evans on Route 19. As far as the other points, though, I'm not real familiar with. But you want to give them a call. It goes around the township, and it could provide you some transportation that you might need. The Aging Services of Washington County. These services are provided basic services to those 60 years and older. Okay, through the agency, you can find access to senior centers, nutrition centers, care management, and ombudsman services. Their mission is to deliver the highest quality, cost-effective services using the least restrictive alternatives and at the direction of the consumer with a focus on autonomy and independence. Once again, that Mary Lynn Splotlick is in charge of that. Her website's there and her phone number's there at 724-228-6856. Along those same lines, and we're talking with the elderly now, the state resources, the state of Pennsylvania offers burial benefits to those who are already receiving assistance through Social Security or who are eligible for cash benefits to the Department of Human Services before death. Nursing home residents who have received state assistance or SSI since 1973 are also eligible. The program is administered through the County Human Service Office. The maximum benefit is only $750, which must be paid directly to an approved funeral director. County municipal resources not available. If you need help to apply, for more information, please contact the County Health and Human Services Office. National Cemetery of the Alleghenies. Who is eligible for burial at the VA National Cemetery? Veterans, service members, spouses, dependents may be eligible for burial in the VA's National Cemetery as well as other benefits if they meet one of these requirements. The person qualifying for burial benefits is a veteran who didn't receive a dishonorable discharge, or the person qualifying for burial benefits is a service member who died while on active duty for training, or inactive duty for training, or the person qualifying for burial benefits is the spouse or surviving spouse of a veteran, even if they were remarried after the veteran's death, or the person qualifying for burial benefits is a minor child of a veteran, even if the veteran dies first, or, in some cases, the unmarried adult dependent child of a veteran. And I realize that's a complicated thing. You can call the National Cemetery and they'll be more than happy to answer any of your questions. Just for a point of information, many retirees like myself have to go and get a new military ID card. You have to get it before 2026, so it would suggest getting it now. The Army Center near the commissary by the airport is offering walk-in service, but I suggest that you in fact give them a call. They're pretty backed up with this new requirement. Washington County Human Services. We've talked a little bit about that up to this point. Care management service, care planning and implementation, and ongoing care management. All right, they oversee the care that you're receiving from your physician, whoever that may be. And the Ombudsman Investigative Service, if you have a complaint about a service, if you're in an old age home and you feel you're taking advantage of, if someone's taking your money or your jewelry while you're in there, you can call them and they will in fact investigate. So it's very important, and once again, the crimes against the elderly, we hear about it in the news all the time, and these are the folks that will in fact investigate those things. Application from homestead or farmstead exclusions here in the county. Monies from the casinos, taxes go to local school districts. So there's millions of dollars handed out every year from the Meadowlands in the Washington County. But with the number of school districts, that amount for Peters Township is about $170,000 according to the county. And those funds are levied against homeowners of the community against their school taxes after the homeowner applies through the county. And this can be done at any age. You don't have to wait till you're a senior citizen to in fact apply for this benefit. You can in fact apply as soon as you purchase the property, and you will get, now it's not saying you're going to get $200 off your taxes. It is distributed through all the homeowners that have applied, so you may only get $50 or $60 really, I mean if that much. So but that is also an exclusion, a little bit of benefit for the homeowners in Washington County. A special thanks go out to all these people. They helped me, and I want to apologize because the VFW ambulance service, when I called there, they had a wonderful woman who was answering all my questions, and I forgot to get her name. When I called back, there was nobody answering, and so I'm sorry I didn't get her name, but I wanted to thank her. Thank you very much for coming and watching the program dealing with the benefits available to senior citizens here in the township. We really want to make sure you take advantage of those opportunities that are available to you, including, once again, trash pickup, a discounted fee at the rec center, the benefit of the township paying for your ambulance service, or at least half of it, through their donation to the VFW. Once again, you just, having been a resident basically all my life here, there were some of these issues that I wasn't familiar with or really aware of what exactly the repercussion, and the VFW thing is one of them. So, but I wanted to share that with you. Thank you very much for coming. We'll look forward to seeing you in the future.